Okay, guys, there was the bell. You know what time it is when that bell rings. It is time for the market to get going, and I'll tell you what, the market actually got going quite early this morning at 7:30 Central Time. Man, the market exploded up today, so that was cool to see. One of the big things that I noticed today was the Treasury actually came out and detailed plans to step up the size of their bond sales, which I thought was kind of interesting. I go look at US 10Y, and it had a huge drop this morning, which might just be inversing the market, but I feel like that there was a pretty big move down on those yields today. So will those yields be kind of coming down here in the short term? I sure hope so, at least for the economy's sake. But at least for right now, though, you know, we can still get through things at the moment, so that's good. But going back to the 1 minute chart, man, we're going to need to see that SPY move back up. It's starting to fall down pretty harsh now. It ran up into 419 to 420 this morning, which was a huge resistance the other week. And of course, what does it do again? It rejects right there. So 419 and 420 are going to be huge here on the SPY. What did we have yesterday for earnings? AMD at night. Obviously, that was the big player. I saw Hunter and a couple people talking about Toyota, TM, talking about this stock. Man, this one exploded today, had good earnings, so that's interesting out of those automakers. But AMD reported last night, and tonight, we're going to have a few more going. PayPal, Roku, Qualcomm. But look at AMD here at open, running up above $100 in a major way. Let's go. This is sick. Hell yeah, guys. That's pretty big on AMD to just run right back above $100 like nothing happened. That's pretty amazing. Let's go, AMD. Wow. Had earnings coming up off of lows. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, it's going to be tough to play AMD, I'll be honest. You know, it's going to be a tough momentum play to catch, but it looks pretty hot for now. Who knows how high it's going to get? That's the question. I'm looking at maybe 101.75, 102 as a solid resistance coming up anyways. Wow. I'll tell you what, guys, it is cold where I live. It is 26 degrees right now. Can you believe that? 26 degrees. I'm not kidding. It was just 80 the other day. I don't know how that happens, but guess that's the fall time, right? But yeah, AMD looking great. Walter PPK says AMZ's up. I'm assuming you meant AMD. Yeah. Good morning, Purdy. What's up, guys? Purdy, Xbox, Walter, Mike, Corbin, Oscar, Evernight. No business trading. Let's go. Let's go. Is Powell going to crash the market? That's the big question, right? We're going to talk about it a lot more, too. We're going to talk about it coming up a little bit more, but there's a lot that he can say, right? He can either go towards more rate hikes. They can talk about going more towards easing. And I'm expecting them to go more towards easing. Which, if Powell does say the words, something about, like, hey, you know, we're starting to see the need to maybe ease a little bit or something like that, that would be great. Now, will he say that? I don't know. I hope so. What he'll probably end up saying is something kind of silly. He'll probably say, we're going to look at the data and go off of that, right? And people are going to say, well, what about the data that's been coming out? How do you feel about that? And he might say something along the lines of, the data that's been coming out is great. We've brought inflation down, but now it's starting to uptick again. So it just depends. Like, are they going to say something about raising rates again to try to get that inflation lower? That's kind of the question. But I would say I could see a short boost from some easing, or you know, they might not even talk about easing like right now, right? It's more of like down the line. Like, it wouldn't be easing like they're going to ease right now. Like, it might just be something like that they're going to ease sooner. You know, there might be something like that that's said rather than them just saying, we're going to ease right away. PAC bounce rebounding. I'll tell you what, Nvidia is looking great today. Running above 410, hitting 413. Nvidia and AMD look fantastic right here. Wow, I mean, amazing. Wow, I had a pretty crazy day yesterday, guys. So after the live stream yesterday, I had to run to the dentist. And I went to the dentist and get this shit. On the way there, I got in an accident. Yeah, I got in a real car accident. In my Ford Focus ST, I rear-ended these ladies, unfortunately. It is what it is. Sucks, but... And now I'm sitting here in shell shock. I did though. I rear-ended these ladies, unfortunately, and you know it was my fault. I can't tell you what I saw, but there was something. I was driving straight, following a couple cars, and you know I saw something to my right. I looked over for a sec. I looked back, and then bam! You know it was too late. I slammed on the brakes and went right into him. I don't know what I saw. I can't remember if it was like leaves that fell or if I saw Discord or what I saw, but yeah, everybody was good, luckily, every night. Purdy says, get off your phone. Yeah. No, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. My Focus is going to need a whole new bumper and a whole new front end, but other than that, it was mainly fine. The back of her car was actually pretty good. The only problem is that, here, I'll show you guys my Ford Focus. So this is like what the Ford Focus looks like in the front. Like this. Except mine's gray. Mine looks like this. More of. Not this cool, though. So, like, if we look at the picture of that. Let's see if I can get that picture up. The problem with the car is that it left this honeycomb thing right here. The problem is that her bumper has that honeycomb in it now. So it's honestly fine besides having the honeycomb in her bumper now. But oh, it sucks. I offered to give her money or, you know, do insurance or whatever. So yeah, good thing it wasn't the Hellcat. I would have been sad. And I'm glad I didn't hurt them either. You know, I rear-ended them from behind and I would have felt really bad if I would have, like, you know, gave somebody a brain injury or something from that. But hey, Cash, fix her car yourself. That's what I'm thinking, Jason. I probably will. I'll be honest, guys. Like, her car was kind of like a beater car. So, you know, I'm not going to say that the car was trashy or anything, but it wasn't the best. So it might be a pretty cheap fix, hopefully. I'm hoping. Xbox said lucky they didn't claim Whiplash. Well, they didn't do anything yet, Xbox. They might still claim it. I'm hoping that they don't, but who knows? They might do something nuts. ZSZ Scaler. Interesting. Someone's asking for stock price targets on this. What an interesting stock. I haven't looked at this one in forever. There's definitely some big levels here on ZS. I mean, that's for certain. They're on 220. That 150 support coming up for ZS is going to be pretty big. ZS. This is a hard one. This is a pretty big stock. And 200 overhead. Is that 140 a pretty good area right there? Yeah, it is. Lines up right on 140, doesn't it? I like 142, 140, 142, I guess. Pretty big stock here. ZS. All right. Let's get back into that SPY really quick. SPY, what do we got? All right, starting to reject a lot. SPY went really flat. I hope this isn't a sign for how it's going to trade today. Hopefully we're not getting all choppy and all terrible. I hate to see that. OMG, Wingstop is a $185. What? Give me that ticker for Wingstop. I'll check it out. 6 months ago, motorbike landed on my car while I was stopping at the red light. Oh, Cube, that's pretty rough. That's pretty crazy. Oh, okay, so their ticker is a wing. All right. That's a pretty cool ticker, I can't lie. Yeah, I guess it is. 185 a share. Wingstop's pretty big. I love Wingstop. Do you guys like Wingstop? I think it's pretty good. I'd prefer wings from like a better place around me, but like some of the pizza places around here have pretty good wings. But I'll say Wingstop is pretty dang good. This makes me actually want to get it for like lunch or something now. There's one not too far from me. I'm scared to drive anymore though, to be honest. I shouldn't be allowed to drive. Oh wow, you never had it? What was the news about Tesla? Are you talking about... Which news are you talking about with Tesla? Like, was there some news today? I didn't see any today. Maybe you mean some news from the other day with China or something. Wow, apparently there was some big news today with the trucks, or the Tesla trucks, I should say. Pretty interesting. Those trucks. I'm trying to find out some big news with Tesla here. There's so much on Thinkorswim's news. Here, I'll bring it up here so you guys can see it too. Put it on the 1 minute chart. Make it fun. But here's the news right here. There's just so much. I know that earnings were huge last week. I don't know if Toyota's good earnings are going to maybe spill over to Tesla a little bit. I doubt it, but it looks like BYD had some good earnings, which helped Tesla. You know, if you don't know what BYD is, it's the EV stock that's in China. I believe it's China or Japan. I believe China, though. And it's the one that Warren Buffett was in. BYDDY and BYDDF are the tickers for that one. BYDDY is the US ticker for the OTC market. What about BYDDF? Yeah, see, they're both weird, though. You know, I don't even know if you can trade them, but... I don't like it whenever they have, like, two different tickers, you know. It gets weird with those foreign stocks sometimes, but... Tesla coming right back up. Right back up here. Yeah, remember, it's 2 p.m. on the interest rate decision and 2:30 p.m. for Powell later. That'll be pretty huge. Make sure you guys come back and check it out. Check out the live stream at 2 p.m. I will be going live for that interest rate decision. Then we will have Powell live whenever he finally decides to show up. Hopefully, he shows up and makes us have some good price action. Man, that QQQ, though, is on fire today. We got to bring up our watch list. Oh, my watch list is closed. How'd it close? Hang on, let me detach it again. Here we go. Garmin. Wow, really? GRMN? Guess they had those earnings. It makes sense, but Garmin, I would have never thought. AMD, of course. Slowly but surely going. Oh, hang on, I gotta pin that. There we go. Now it won't fall away. Pfizer, PFE. It's pretty cool. If you guys have a Thinkorswim watch list, you can pop it out and you can click this pin and it'll make the pin stay there. So like if you're on TradingView, you can like watch that watch list like right in the middle of your chart, which is pretty sick. Now TradingView has their own watch list as well, which I believe I have right here. There's a couple watch lists, but I don't know. Theirs isn't, I don't like it as much. It's not as good to me. I saw a clip where Joe Rogan shot an arrow into the Cybertruck, barely scratched it. Wow. That's pretty cool. I think that they said it's supposed to withstand like 22 caliber handgun rounds or something similar. Something like a 22 or something. You got me playing with my pistol now. But yeah, that... I know it's supposed to be even like a little bit bulletproof in a way, but... I know a 22 is pretty weak. I mean, I doubt you're going to get shot at with a 22, but you never know. You never know. Amazon running up 135.50, 135.60. Go to that daily on them. All right, looks pretty good, Amazon. It's actually pretty good. Really good on the daily. I mean, fantastic. Breaking out up above recent high, right around 133, 135. Getting a fantastic break there. Filled that gap on the daily as well. That's kind of good. That's kind of good to see. Boeing popped off, but not really getting that movement that we want yet. Maybe if it breaks above 190. Thoughts on Amazon? Yeah, I mean, it's having a good day. Good breakout. The question is how long is this breakout going to withstand today, right? How long is that thing going to be in control? Right now, we're having a great breakout, so it looks awesome, but I feel like it's not the best to enter now because there was already a huge move, if that makes sense. I feel like as you trade longer, you know, you start to see, and you don't really want to enter on like whenever a stock is very overextended like Amazon is. You start to get used to playing like that. It seems kind of overextended. I'm not saying you're going after calls. I'm just... It looks great. Just tough for an entry. Look how high it is. AMD's the same way, you know, ran up a lot with their earnings and is at that point where I don't know if I would get that one. We can go through the watch list, though, and maybe find one that isn't up a ton. Like Netflix, maybe. Netflix seems like it's getting a good second leg coming. They're in that tech sector. Google, maybe they will. Yeah, they're doing all right. They're breaking recent resistance, or they're right at it. Could be a good candidate for a breakout. I like it. Again, though, it's a little bit high on an intraday standpoint. Like, if we go back the past... If we just keep scrolling back, right? Oh, it's not going to let me. If we do like a 5-minute chart and we go scrolling back, like look at these moves to the upside, right? Like these were some of the good moves from a couple weeks ago to the upside. It's not like they're that nuts, right? It's actually pretty similar to like a move like what we're seeing today. Just a few dollars move. It could be more likely with that round being so cheap, he said. Yeah, I knew somebody was going to say that, and I actually thought about that response, Xbox, but I've never met one person that carries a gun who carries a 22. I've not met one. Seriously. Everybody I know that carries has like a Glock or a Sig Sauer or a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield or an M&P 2.0 compact or, you know, stuff like that. Not an M&P 22. Normally it's just, you know, nobody carries that because, well, we all know, but I knew someone was going to say that. I thought about that. I was like, maybe they'll buy it because it's cheap. And then I was like, you know what? I've never heard of anybody lugging a 22 around, so I'm sure people do it, but I sure as hell wouldn't. Going to BA. Reminds me when I was 5 years old and I used to say BA to sound cool because I couldn't say badass. Go to Tesla chart, falling off a little bit, hit resistance around 205. I like that resistance on Tesla. That'll be good for tomorrow or for today. If we get that break of that resistance, that could be awesome. The question is are we going to get a break or are we just going to go choppy all day into the FOMC event? That's kind of what I'm worried about here, just chopping away into the FOMC event. I do not want to see that happen, but it could. You know, sometimes that chop comes in. Right now, the market's fairly bullish at least, but I'm not identifying those stocks that are, you know, getting those moves that I really want to see, though. Like AMD. AMD looks great, but, you know, we got to remember they just reported their earnings, so you're catching a runner on AMD, fantastic, though. It's not bad to watch. It's really the only stock I see having a good move here. At least like a fantastic move, you know. The rest are just, they're okay. The move, like they might be moving up, but not really. Like we go to Microsoft. Actually, Microsoft is having a good morning. I'll give it that. They're having a good one. But like you see Tesla, like they're not doing much. Nvidia was doing hot earlier, but coming back down now. Hit actually got right to my resistance at 415, surprisingly enough. Came right back down off that. Could have been a good target on Nvidia. I think we talked about this one earlier, but now it's coming back down into the range, into the chop zone, I'll call it. As these stocks fall today, I'm going to call it the chop zone. Yeah, exactly, Saul. Like something cool like that, like the wallet gun. If that's a 22, that's fine. But yeah, you know what I mean. You're not going to be carrying that, mostly. Oh wow, he did say they were gonna test a bunch of guns on the truck. That's cool. I sure hope they do. That'll be a really fun video. He should, if he was smart, he would give the truck to Garand Thumb on YouTube. Man, Garand Thumb is the best, guys. Garand Thumb. If you guys don't watch him on YouTube, man, he's the best gun YouTuber I think that there is, for sure. He does all types of cool tests. They'll get dummies and they'll shoot them to see what bullets are the best. He does good gun reviews. I mean, all types of stuff. His most recent ones, they've been talking about doing like evasion tactics and stuff. So make sure you check it out. It says like how to evade a professional military. And this guy goes in depth into it. Really good YouTuber if you guys are into that stuff. Of course, if you're not into that, well, discount what I said, but Kentucky Ballistics. Yeah, he's good too. He's good too. Man, Meta, you gonna fall down here now? It broke above 300. Now what? Are we gonna fall back down and test support? Come on, Meta. Give us a break. Give us a break. Mike said there's 5 minutes until ISM data is coming out. Yeah, look at that. Manufacturing PMI coming out in 5 minutes. So be ready for that. That could be pretty big. Jolt's job openings could be big too. I don't think it's going to be that crazy, but the market will probably take a little bit of a move here, or a hit. It'll take some volatility, we'll say. Today sucks for Disney, I'm sure. Yep. Coming back down. Hopefully 81 holds, though. That'd be nice. Not too worried about it, though. Nice swing play on that. For all you guys in the premium Discord, you know that Disney swing. SPY starting to hit resistance and come back a little bit here. Uh-oh. And you start playing the Choppa style song. I probably should. Hey, make sure you guys are smashing up that like button. Let's go. Come on, help us out with the likes today. Hit us some likes. Today's not a very exciting day in the market yet, so I'm sure everybody's kind of waiting this morning out, getting ready for Powell later, and I will be live for that event. I'll be live for the Central. What's going on? Are you guys, is the stream all good? My software said that it was going to shut down because it wasn't receiving data or something. Although, I don't know how. I kept getting my stocks still moving the whole time, so. Oh, wow, it was stopping. Okay. Interesting. I wonder what caused that. My Thinkorswim was still going. Interesting. Okay. Cool, cool. Thanks for letting me know. But yeah, I was saying I will be live later for Powell whenever he starts speaking, and I'll be live for the interest rate decision. So check back in at 1 p.m. Eastern. Or I'm at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Here's the calendar. 2 p.m. Eastern for the interest rate decision, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time for Powell's speech. But Central time, it's 1 p.m. and 1:30, so adjust your time zone accordingly, of course. This is Eastern time. All right, SPY starting to reject at 419.80. Got pretty close to 420, but that rejection is coming in. Not looking good here for the SPY. Maybe this will be where we get that intraday pullback. And I hope that that's kind of the case, because I would be nice to be able to get in on some puts on some of these plays here. Now, not maybe NVIDIA, AMD, or Microsoft. Not something that maybe has been running, but Tesla. You know, they've had a pretty bad move today. Maybe them under the low of day back down to 200 would be nice. What else has had a pretty shitty move? CVX, the oil stocks. No. It's not good for them. Square's had a bad move? Oh, no. That's a bad day for Square. What about Zoom? I feel like Zoom's not even on my... I don't think it was. Must have got taken off for some reason. Yeah, Zoom's all right. This music is starting to scare me here. Walter said, I saw the wheelie. What was that? With the bike? The Choppa. End phase, come on. Poor end phase has been brutal. I mean, it's been getting hit hard, guys. I mean, it's not just them. It's also SEDG, Solar Edge, Enphase, FSLR, First Solar. They're all doing terrible in the short term. They've had huge pullbacks. AMZN moving down. Yeah, maybe that'll be a nice play to the downside here. It'd be nice to me if these stocks pull back more to the downside, but I don't think that they're going to today. Not until Powell comes out and really gives us that decision. And that's if he gives us that decision. You know, we'll have to see what he ends up really saying. He might just be nice and boring, and then we won't even want calls anymore, you know, if he's too boring, so. Let's hope he doesn't come out and bore us to death. Those past couple speeches weren't the best, you know, they were kind of duds. Now, I know they weren't FOMC events, but still, I mean, I would have liked to have seen some Powell pressure, some Powell pumps coming in. Sorry about that, guys. Had to grab a quick drink. But there we go. Kraft Heinz is up 4%. I'm surprised Sean hasn't talked about the ketchup today. Oh, Sean, he's probably busy this morning. That's funny. Ketchup's moving. Oh, Kraft. Kraft Heinz coming back alive. That's good. That's good to see. But yeah, today's been a wild day. You know, we had Halloween last night. My buddies came over. We played some Wii Sports, of all things. Wii Sports. I was very surprised when I was playing it. I was like, wow. My Wii still works. Take it. Estee Lauder's down 20 points. That's EL on the ticker. Yeah, down a lot here. Wow. Almost all the way down to 100 at this point. I don't think that there's any possible play now. I mean, it's already down way too much, but hey, that's a pretty good move. I'll take it. Okay, Estee. Maybe we'll get a break of 100 soon, or maybe the 100 support will be a big bouncing area. Keep it on watch today. I'll place an alert at 100 just to, you know, it is a big level. EL's not my favorite stock, but it's not bad. Get some good plays on it. Microsoft's still moving. Can I do a rundown on how the SM bot system works? For sure. So let's bring up the SM bot. Let's go in Discord. We'll bring it up real quick. Just make sure you pay attention here. All right, so we got our Discord on the left side of the screen. You guys can see AMD's on the right side still, just so we have it up, or Microsoft is, I mean. Let's go to SPY. So here is the Discord. So we see how the SM bot calls out a whole bunch of plays, right? Like right now it's calling out ANET, KHC, Microsoft a lot, PBR, Pinterest, Starbucks, Exxon and Mobil, and it has calls, puts, and there's tons of different strikes. Like on Microsoft is called out 4 times, whereas Kraft is only called out once. PBR is once, Pinterest once, SBucks once, ZOM only once. So whenever you get more call outs, it's essentially showing you where that momentum is. So the more call outs there, the more momentum in theory. Now, it won't always be that way. Remember, if a stock's running up and it's hitting resistance and turning over, you know, it might not get called out. Like Microsoft, for example, it was just called out 4 times. Now it's not getting called out because it's hitting resistance, and over the past few candles, it's been turning over. So the SM bot is not calling it out now because it's starting to turn back over, you know, so it doesn't want you to get in. You need to use the SM bot like a screener. So you'll use it like right now, just called out AMD calls like 6 times, right? So I'll check AMD. I'll also check ANET because it has some calls, and maybe that'll give me an opportunity for a day trade, right? You don't just play the strikes that it gives. You're gonna want to go more at the money. Like if AMD's around 103, go with the 103 strikes. Go with the 102 strikes. You know, you don't have to go with the exact strike or expiration that the bot gives, but they're meant to be quicker scalps, and it's meant to follow momentum. So if you're looking at the SM bot and it's calling AMD out 4 times with calls, you go look at AMD's chart and you say, wow, AMD's doing great, but AMD's right at intraday resistance. So you can sit here and say, okay, well, I'm going to watch it then. If it breaks out above resistance, I'll follow this momentum up and then take a quick profit and take a good scalp play there. So you have to really use it as that screener, and you have to go look at the individual stock before you just play it. Like if it calls out like how it is now, like 6 stocks, like these aren't going to all be able to be played. You know, like if we go look at the Square puts and the Starbucks puts, these might not be good. Like, look, it's calling out Square puts, but you can see that Square has this double bottom right here going on around 39.40. You might not want to get in right there because it's like you got that obvious double bottom on Square. Now, hey, if Square breaks that double bottom, you can add the alert there, wait for the break. When the break happens, then you could enter those puts and follow that momentum down. So it's really just giving you an idea of those stocks that are moving and those options that are moving a lot too, so that you can go obviously look at them and chart them up and see if it'll actually be a good opportunity or not to follow that momentum. What are you thinking of the big money play from last night? That one was not my favorite. I'm usually not a big fan of those therapeutic type of stocks. We'll go look at it real quick. ACRS, 5 strike calls. I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm not a huge therapeutic or pharmaceutical stock type of player. I'm not a big healthcare stock player in general. So, yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at here. ACRS coming up off of lows. I mean, other than a charting standpoint of it being very low, to me, this is a tough play. I think it's a smart play by the big money, but I just don't think it'll be the, I don't know, the best one to follow, we'll say, out of the big money plays, right? I'd rather go with a big money play on, like, Microsoft or something, you know? How about the bot counter and ML sections? Honestly, Xbox, I really don't even use those sections at all. But if you really want me to get into it, you can check out hashtag info as well. There's a whole ton of information in here. So if we go to ML plays, for example, it's just kind of like a subset of the counter. So all that it's doing is just showing you what it's doing, right? So if it's green, the bot likes the underlying ticker more. If it's red, it likes the underlying ticker less. If it's purple, it's new to the list. If it's yellow, it means it likes it the same. So you'll see it move around a lot on that ML counter. Let's bring it up. Or ML plays, I mean. So they're all yellow right now. It's just kind of showing it's the same. Keep in mind, we're doing a lot of updates right now, so things might not always look the same in every single channel as they're supposed to, but the bots themselves will be great. But we're doing a lot of updates at the moment. Now, bot counters simply doing what it says here. It's the most popular symbols so far today. So AMD, Microsoft, and MU have had the most momentum. I love looking at the counter because you can come in here and you can say, wow, well, it's called out AMD the most. That stock probably has a lot of momentum today, right? So then you go over to AMD and you're like, hot damn, it does have momentum. You know, the bot's been right with AMD a lot today. So you go back and then you look at Microsoft, MU, most populars this hour, ANET, Microsoft, Craft. Don't look at these too close right now, though. Like I said, the colors aren't changing because, you know, it's being updated right now. If we go back a few days ago, you can see those colors again, or yesterday. Right now, it's just sitting yellow. It should change more than that, though, but... like I said, updates are coming in, so... yes, Kevin, I will be live for FOMC, 100%. I will be live for that. At 2 p.m. Eastern time is when we'll start. And then, of course, when Powell speaks at 2:30 Eastern, we will be live again. I like this with ketchup. Yeah, no problem, Kevin. Thank you. Sorry, I had to deal with something in Discord real quick. Definitely, we need updates. Bot has alerted a lot of losing play. Yeah. I mean, you know, P-Cube, that's really the big problem with traders, right? Is that they cannot look at the longer term. Like, if you look at the bot's historical callouts, it's won more than it's lost. Okay? It just has. And you can look at those whenever you go back and you look at the historical performance of it. And the problem is that people, they go way too deep into plays and they'll take like one little streak and they'll be like, oh, you know, terrible now. Like, but then the next week, if the bot wins all the plays in a row, then everyone's typing, well, I didn't play it this week because last week went bad. You know, it's like, no, like you can't do that when you're sticking to a strategy. You know, there's gonna be streaks. I mean, there's streaks in anything. Imagine you're playing baseball. You're not going to get a hit every time, you know? There's going to be times where you don't get hits. But those home runs and those RBIs and those doubles and base hits, they make up for, you know, those bad streaks. Because sometimes you might go on a hot streak and you might get like, you know, 10 hits in a row, you know? Like a really hot streak. Oh, wow, P-Cube, you just started options trading? You literally just started and you're playing the bot? Wow. Well, I'll say this. You're supposed to have some experience before you play the bot plays, but yeah, risk management's very important too. You know, like if you have a certain account, you only want to risk a certain amount of that account each time. Like, let's say you have a $5,000 account. The most you're going to want to risk on one play is 5%. And that's the max, you know, maximum. I would go with 2 or 3%. And let's get a calculator up to calculate it out. Do 5,000 times 0.0 or 0.05, you know, 5% of 5,000. So $250 maximum risk per play. So this will mean, you know, you might have to play less contracts of a play. You know, like let's say you usually play 5 contracts and you're like, yeah, I'm going to play 5 contracts today. Now, you know, now that you know you're only risking $250, let's say an option has a $50 drawdown, okay? And you only want to risk $250, but let's say 20% drawdown is, like I said, that $50 drawdown. You know, 5 of those $50 drawdowns would equal 250. So you could have 5 contracts then, right? Let's say you got those 5 contracts, you know, you bought it here. Down here's your stop loss, and then you're taking profits somewhere like way up here, right? This is a drawdown, let's say of 50 bucks. You know, how many of those $50 drawdowns can you play for your account size, right? A lot of it comes down to having the right position sizing, because then that way, if you lose a couple plays, you're not really that worried about it, you know. But if you lose a couple plays and you just lost half your account, well, honestly, it just was bad risk management. Xbox said, I just started too. Really? Xbox, you've been in these streams for like 2 years or like a year and a half or something? No way. How'd you just start? Streaks in the shorts? What? That's pretty funny. That's pretty... One thing to really keep in mind, guys, is longer term accounts are very, very important, okay? Long-term accounts are crucial, okay? Like, let's imagine that you have a $100,000 account. And let's just say that you put the majority of that into SPY, right? Let's say you put it into SPY. You have a $100,000 account. Now, let's just say that, you know, for theory's sake, you put it in like 5 years ago, okay? 5 years ago. We'll say somewhere in 2018, right in the middle, right? You'd be up right now around 58 to 60%. So that would mean you'd be up around $58,000 to $60,000 over that time frame, right? That's great. That's a great gain. You know, that's a lot of money on something like that. And, you know, you're keeping it pretty safe, putting it in the S&P 500. That's a good gain there over the course of, you know, 5 years. I'm only right here where it's only 3 years, but, you know, you go to where we are now, it's like 5. You know, you could have always taken profits higher. You know, you could have let go a little sooner. But when you have those longer term accounts going and you get those big dollar amount gains over time, I'm telling you, it's the way to go, okay? Like, everybody wants to make like $2,000 a day on day trades. Like, I get it. You know, I used to love that too. I used to want to do that. Nowadays, I take account risk way more into play. You know, I don't go for those big like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 gains per day. No, that type of money gets reserved for my longer term safe accounts. I'll go for a gain and maybe risk, you know, like a couple $100 to maybe make like 200, 400, 600, like in that given day. I don't like to go after day trades with a ton of risk to them. You know, I just don't. It's not my style of trading. I'm a longer term player usually. That's kind of how I roll, is like longer term stuff. I feel like the majority of people will turn into longer term players the more that you trade. But yeah, I just don't see the risk in those short-term things. Because like we say, you know, you get a bad couple streaks going, you're risking quite a bit. Let's say a stop loss misses or something. It could get bloody really quick if you're risking too much. So I really like to keep that account risk down a lot. Like, you know, trying to maybe only risk like 1% of your account a day, 2% of your account, 3%. You don't really want to get to like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10%. Look at SPY continuing to run though today. Great breakout here, running above 420. Beautiful. Mouse click money's awesome. I know, right? Sean goes, I'd be happy with $75 a day. Exactly, right? And let's calculate it out. How much would $75 a day net you, right? Let's just say there's 20 days in a month, 20 trading days, okay? We'll do 75 times 20 trading days, okay? That would be an average of $1,500 per month. Let's times that out by 30, okay? or sorry, 1,500 times 12 for 12 months. There we go. That would be $18,000 a year. And that's only if you're going after $75 a day, guys. That's $18,000 a year. That's a lot of money per year to grow. Like, seriously, like that compounding, now that'll get even better. That 18,000 will grow more. But that's if you make 150 bucks a day, right? I bet you that there's a lot of traders out there who try to make, or that's only 75 bucks a day. I bet you that there's lots of traders out there who are trying to make like $1,000 a day right now, and they're probably brand new. You know, they don't know really what's going on. Number one, that's the recipe for disaster. But they think they're trying to go way too deep, right? Like, you don't need 1,000 a day. Like, 1,000 a day is sick, right? If you can attain 1,000 a day and it's no risk for you, great. That's awesome. And that's what people do. Like, once you start getting a bigger account, like 300,000, 500,000, stuff like that, then you can do that. And you can take those bigger risks, because honestly, it's not a big risk, because according to your account size, it's only like 1%, you know? But a lot of traders just, they go way too much after that specific number. Go something smaller and go after something small in the beginning. Go for a $50 gain. If you can't even get a $50 gain consistently, why do you think that you're going to get a $1,000 gain consistently? Because if you get 50 consistently, all you have to do then is just scale up, and then you'll be at 1,000 in no time after you scale up. You just have to get that going. So think about that, you know, as you're trading. But let's get into that SPY, because it is breaking out right now, breaking the high of day. 420.91 to the upside right now. What a break. Good shit, SPY. I mean, fantastic. SPY exploding. What a move, SPY. Let's go. Take that all day. Let's go. Which way you think FOMC will move the market? I'm really mixed on this one. I'll be honest. On this one, I don't want to take a big guess. I'm hoping that they talk about easing a little bit sooner rather than waiting till May or June of next year. But let's go to the FedWatch tool. I like this tool a lot. I love this tool. It kind of shows you these percentages here on what we're looking at for rate hikes in the future. Hang on one sec. Someone asked me a question in Discord. All right, so getting back to the FOMC event later coming up, looking at the meeting, I mean, it looks like there's like 100% chance just about of a pause this time. The thing that we're going to be looking for is, are they going to go towards more of the easing side here? Are these percentages going to start getting higher? Or is the hike side going to get higher? The past couple times, they've kind of said that they want to have hikes before the end of this year. And that blows my mind. I can't believe that they said that at the last meeting, to be honest. Want more hikes this year, maybe because of inflation or something, but I feel like the economy is getting to the point of not being able to withstand too many more hikes. So I'm praying that that don't happen, but Praying that doesn't happen, but I would really like it if it came more towards easing. And I think if it came towards easing, I think the market would go up. Now, it's always hard to say how the market's going to react, though. Like, they could do easing, right? They could say, well, we're going to start easing. And then the market could run up because they're like, yay, they're easing. You know, it's going to be a better system for us overall. They're easing. Or the market could run down and they're like, oh no, we don't want easing because inflation. We need hikes for inflation. You know, like, what if the market, you know, it's so hard to kind of say how the market's going to react. It's kind of like earnings. You know, there could be a great earnings report and then the market goes, it wasn't good enough, and then it goes down. Or there could be a great earnings report and then it flies up, which it should. But sometimes there might be a little nitpicky thing here or there, like, sure, the earnings were great, but margins fell a little bit or something, right? Or they said that there's pressure on the industry or something, you know? You got to think about all those different things when you're trying to look at these events. It's very hard to get it correctly, but I would hope that he talks about some easing and that the market likes the easing and that it moves up. But maybe he'll say inflation's too high. I mean, it's a tough one to say this time. Where is that inflation rate? Are we getting that soon? All right, so November 14th is whenever we get the inflation rate. So in a couple weeks. You're getting that in a couple weeks. Yeah, if you're just joining up or you're, new here today, I will be going live later for Powell at 2 p.m. Eastern and 2:30 p.m. Eastern time as well. So keep that down on the radar for later. Maybe set an alarm on your phone. Something like that. And hey, guys, also don't forget about the poker game this Friday, okay? Don't forget about poker. We're going to be doing a poker tournament on the live stream here this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central time, okay? You guys can play in it. This is all you have to do right here. We've already had a couple people pay. Myself, no business is paid. If you guys are interested, let me know, okay? Let me know. Make sure you get paid up so that you can have your spot confirmed. But yeah, we'll be doing it this Friday. It'll be a $100 buy-in. The winner will win $500. Second place will get $300. And third place will get their money back. Yeah, but yeah, let's go, guys. Let's have some fun here. You can send the money here. If you guys want to take a picture or screenshot it or something like that. But yeah, if you want to get in, just let me know, and I will add you to the list. It would be sick to get 9 people in for this. If we could. Have a full table going. You don't have to talk while you're on it, but we will be doing a voice chat. You don't have to be in there, though, if you don't want to. All right, though. SPY looking good. 421.40. Having a good run. Maybe this will be where it starts to turn over. Tough to say. Jason said U.S. job openings rise. Yes, they do. Had to refresh the page. Yeah, they did rise. Higher than the forecast. That's good. Maybe that means Powell's pressure is starting to work. I hope his pressure's starting to work. We need it to start working, and so that they can start opening up that money printer again. We need that money printer turned on, guys. It's like, it's almost like the electricity's been out, but... Man, Microsoft was hot for the bot today, guys. I don't know if you guys caught it when it came out at 9:11 a.m., but wow, I mean, this thing's been on a run right here with the bot today. So, good shit, Microsoft. Good shit, bot. Yeah, that was a great bot play there. Never really went down from the call out. Hopefully you guys got in and, you know, made some. Like P-Cube, did you play this one? Were you playing some Microsoft on that call? It was a pretty good one here. Pretty good call. Sean said aim small, miss small. Or, well, aim small, get multiple days of green, going 5 to 10 days plus, and you'll accidentally have big days. That's the big thing. You want to accidentally get those big days. That's the thing. I love that you said that, Sean. Because those big days will come. Like, today could have been a big day on Microsoft, actually. Pretty good. P-Cube said they're on the sidelines today. Oh. No. Makes sense, though, I guess, with Powell. For quick in and out plays, you know, you could always play, but... But yeah, hey, come on. Let me know if you guys want to play some poker. I know that there's a lot of you guys out there that would play, so... You know, just let me know if you want in and we can have some fun. It'll be a good time, you know, and I will pay you out, of course. Like, I'm not gonna steal your money or anything crazy, you know. Nothing like that. Play some real poker. Corbin said I cashed out my account. What? Corbin. Oh. Took a huge loss. Corbin. Wiped out profits from the year. Man, guys. That can happen, you know. That happens sometimes. Hey, I've been there, okay? I swear, I've blown up. I've lost 25 grand like 2 separate times, guys. Like, I've blown up accounts pretty bad, okay? You know, it's... I've blown them up twice, like, when I was starting. It happens when you're new, you know? Whenever that happens, though, just stick with it, Corbin. I know that, you know, I know that it might have been gone quick. It was a quick play. But learn from it. Really, really learn from it this time, you know? You really got to keep that risk down. You need to start putting stuff into longer-term plays. Not long-term options, okay? Like long-term stocks, like buying shares. You gotta start switching that mindset up. You gotta get that longer-term stuff going. You gotta get that safety incorporated. You obviously put way too much money on that play. Like, you can't do that. How did I recover, Jason said. It took a long time, Jason. It sucked. You know, I was a kid at the time. I was like 18 years old. My grandfather gave me some money to trade with. Lost it all. Trading with him, you know, I was mainly trying to day trade and do bullshit like that. Like really risky day trades on like futures with like tons of contracts and then stuff like that. So whenever I recovered, it took me a couple years still, you know, I still ended up doing some more bad plays. But as time went, Mike actually really, really helped me out. Mike D'Antonio, I have gratitude to you for helping me out. Mike has helped me so much, guys. He's the one who got me into like the safer stuff, like the longer term plays, the shorting put options, and then getting shares and then doing covered calls. He got me into that. And ever since that's been the strategy, things have been fantastic. You know, it's been fantastic. Ever since that's been the strat, literally. And I think it's because it's mainly longer term stuff. Like over the longer term, the stock market's great. The problem is the emotions that people have on the shorter term stuff. Now look, whenever you start winning a couple long-term plays, you can always start putting some cash on the side and then, you know, maybe risking a little bit here and there on some day trades. And then as you make more money, you know, get that day trading stuff all sorted out. But if you're losing, I mean, you got to start trying some other plays. We do a lot of premium selling in the premium portion of Discord. We love talking longer term stuff in there as well. Check out the premium selling channel. Hunter posts up. The Spidey bot posts stuff. It's awesome right there. We also talk about stocks and stuff that we like for the long term. We actually buy those, you know, like Disney and Square and all of those. Three years in 1 week. Man, that is I hope that's a big wake-up call to never risk that much again. Tesla falling when everything rising. Is it? TSLA. Definitely pulling down hard under 200 again. Great. Right under 200. Kevin says he's down 30% on his puts, but he has time. Are you talking about on that little play on like Microsoft pulling back earlier or the SPY pulling back or something? Well, hey, Corbin, at least it's, at least you're being honest with yourself, you know? You don't think you learned your lesson, that's why you cashed out. I mean, at least you're being honest there, right? $197 is pretty big support on Tesla here. Kevin said, my problem is I always play earnings. Yeah, earnings, just never play them. Just learn to sit them out. Maybe play like, you know, every earnings season, maybe play one play, right? You don't have to play a lot. Have some fun on one, right? Like, let's say 3 months go by from now and then AMD reports again and you're like, AMD is my favorite stock. I'm gonna do some calls for earnings here, you know? Something like that might be okay. You know, every once in a while or like one per season or something, you know. Just don't go nuts with them. And make sure that when you enter it, you keep your risk correct. You know, if you put your whole account in on there or a significant portion, well, uh-oh. Kevin said, next year I'm not. Yeah. That's good. Going over to the watch list here. I do like earnings sometimes, guys, and keep in mind, this is just like totally wild guesses, you know, and earnings are earnings, like they're gonna go their own way, you know, but I do like to look at trend lines and stuff with earnings. Like if you notice a big trend line hitting on earnings or something, maybe you can try to make a play off of that, but it's not really worth it until after earnings, in my opinion. So, you know, because who knows? It could go up and then break the trend line and go running up on the earnings. So the main thing is just seeing that trend line and then identifying that move so that you can have that bias in your mind, so that maybe heading into earnings, you have a bias, and then after earnings, you know, if it goes the way you want, you could maybe then catch it on those moves down since you were anticipating it. Corbin said half of it was from Meta, 0 DTEs. Yeah, 0 days to expirations are pretty hard. They'll turn around so quick on you. Oh, you had a GLD swing that you cut for a loss? That was last week then. Wow. Xbox is looking at the Spidey bot plays. He said, are you supposed to buy as it's posted or no? Yeah, I mean, essentially, they're just good ideas for cash secured puts. So like yesterday, it called out Citigroup, right? 38 strike puts. It's a bank stock that's way oversold. Those puts will expire in about 2 weeks, and it's at the 38 strike, which is way down here. So if you short those, yeah, you might either get shares at 38 and collect all that premium, or, you know, the stock will go up and you'll just get that premium pretty easily. It has a 69% chance to win. So yeah, I mean, they're meant to be done as they're called out, yeah. Those are like plays that you just want to short those puts though. Like, make sure that you know that. Like, the puts are meant to be sold, you know, to open. So you're shorting those puts. I want to escape call with AMD, but it is FOMC day. Well, you know, AMD, you can probably still trade it today. Like, the FOMC is not for a few hours. Like, you could easily trade now and then get out. Like, you don't have to buy this and hold it all day. Just trade a quick scalp up, you know, like, but I wouldn't do it now because it's running into the 105 resistance and it's way too high. It'll probably come falling down now, but yeah, I mean, there's tons of time in the day today. Like, maybe around noontime start sitting out. Let's go over to the defense stock.